Welcome to the Life on Tap podcast, where we hope you rediscover your potential so that you feel confident, clear, and independent. Have you inadvertently put yourself last all these years by putting others first, only to wake up in your midlife and find yourself lost in the shuffle? Girl, I have so been there. Let me share with you the lessons I've learned to create a new direction to rediscover yourself. Together, let's go on a journey of mastering your potential, tapping into the power that already exists inside of you. We'll talk confidence, self-care, organization, health and well-being, money mindsets, financial hacks, and how to kick your limiting beliefs to the curb for good. We will find and establish your vision, get crystal clear on it. This is your blueprint, your life untapped. I'm your host, Fran Rivera, lifestyle consultant and certified health coach. I'm also the founder of the Life Untapped coaching system, where you can earn as you learn with our affiliate program. Check it out at thelifeuntapped.com and grab our free mini course, The Guilt-Free Balanced Life, while you are there. Are you ready for your blueprint? Let's dig in. Hey, welcome back. All right, this is going to be a little touchy, I guess. Maybe it's tough love. I might lose some of you here, and I'm cool with that. I have a commitment to always speak my truth, and it's cool if you don't agree with it. I think discussions, more civil discussions, are needed in this world without people, blocking, hitting that block or delete button on social media, or just eliminating them from their lives because they just think differently. So I'm totally fine if we don't ever think 100% the same all the time, okay? That being said, this is going to be a tough love little situation, and you've been warned. So you might have guessed from the title, the pandemic before the pandemic. Now, again, it's going to make some of you uncomfortable, but before March of 2020, it seemed, and obviously this is not 100% the truth for everybody, but it seemed like nobody was really concerned about their health, at least in the sense that they knew better, but they still acted differently and ate all the fast food and the chips and drank all the soda and didn't take the daily supplements and multivitamins and all that. So it's almost as if we had that feeling of time is on our side, and we'll cross that bridge of worrying about our health if something came up. So more of I like to take a proactive stance with my health and always be in the best fighting shape as possible. But it almost seems like the majority of the world lived by the seat of their pants and would deal with it if something happened down the road. Okay, so because most people were taking that attitude of maybe feeling invincible or just crossing that bridge later on if something happened, well, then something did happen, right? COVID happened. And if you were the person who just watched the media, you were put into this state of almost paralyzing fear, like, oh my gosh, and I'm not gonna lie, when this first came out, I was like, oh crap, we're all gonna die, and then after I calmed down, I was like, okay, breathe. It's serious, but I didn't want to have that doom and gloom attitude. So the more you worry about something, the more stress it's going to cause in your body. Your immune system goes down with stress, right? So a lot of people were watching this daily on the news, morning news, afternoon news, evening news. It was all over. It was all consuming. And suddenly most people were panicking, and it seemed like they were practically begging the government to protect them, please shut us down, please come up with a vaccine, please, 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 please. This is not about how the government officials handled it or the politics involved. This is just not that episode, okay? I'm not going there. I'm just trying to figure out why we as humans didn't care enough prior to March of 2020, okay? Why did it take a world pandemic to suddenly care about our health and panic? Now, I get it. It's kind of human nature not to think about something until it happens to you. It's that invincible feeling, right? Now, I've been in the wellness industry for nearly 20 years now, and I've seen it all. People who would rather take a pill than change their eating habits. People who would rather go to the doctor, get that prescription, instead of spending money on the personal trainer or the supplements. They tell me, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, I don't have enough money, it's not in my budget, I can't afford a personal trainer, or I can't afford to eat healthy, I can't afford to eat grass-fed beef, and I can't afford to take these organic natural supplements. And then next week they're like showing off their designer handbag, or they booked that vacation to wherever. Okay, so it's not that they couldn't afford it, it's because they didn't prioritize it. We will all find the time, we will all find the finances for things that are important to us. Okay, so again, why didn't we care about our health? And obviously not all of you, some of you did, before March of 2020. So I'm going to tell you a story that blew my mind, and I don't know if she'll be listening to this, if she'll recognize herself. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. But there was an old friend from high school who posted about being pre-diabetic, and her doctor told her to change her diet or she was going to have to go on metformin. She posted how she was overwhelmed by the dietary changes involving, the carbohydrates, and she'd have to totally revamp her way of eating. So she chose to not even try and go on metformin. I reached out to her showing how our system, things that we have, the supplements in my nutritional toolkit, our philosophy of cleanse, balance, build, helped so many people come off prescriptions or avoid prescriptions and improve their health naturally. I don't make any claims, and I didn't make any claims to her, nor am I now. I've just seen a bajillion stories of others who have done it successfully with this plant-based system. So I reached out to her. And like I said, she basically told me she decided to take the metformin instead of changing anything with her diet. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't crushed. I mean, here was a young person who just gave up before she tried. And I get it, where I guess a pill is faster, so we like that instant fix, right? But where did we give up hope and become so weak that we can't give our bodies a fighting chance to be in optimal health? I know insurance covers it and it's faster to take a pill, but what about the long term? Are we just living in the moment today without any thought for our future? Everything we put in our body, if it's over the counter or prescriptions, even if they're necessary in life, there's side effects to long-term use of these prescriptions. So obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, tons of chronic illnesses and inflammation, anxiety, depression. Gosh, I could go on. But seriously, Lord knows how many are on prescriptions for anxiety and depression alone. That's the true pandemic that we as a nation have ignored for so long. That's what I'm talking about, the pandemic before the pandemic. So now, when COVID comes along, COVID-19, and who knows, in a year or two, we might have COVID-20, COVID-21. There's always going to be something new, right? Suddenly, those that are healthy are being forced to stay home, wear a mask, protect all the immune-compromised people that have comorbidities. Now, again, this is not a discussion whether you should do that or not. This is not even a debate on masks. Like, totally just don't, again, giving the disclaimer, this isn't a debate. This isn't me saying, what we should do. I acknowledge there's plenty of immune-compromised or sick people who are that way through no lifestyle fault of their own. But if you had put just a little bit of effort, if you do put a little bit of effort into your own health and take personal responsibility, you would be in a much better position to handle any disease or germs that come your way. So I'm only talking about the people here who have blatantly ignored all the advice from their doctors, ignored the advice from health professionals and loved ones to please take care of themselves, and now suddenly they're in fear and looking for the government to protect us. I don't think it's the government's job to protect us. Again, I think we need to own up, take responsibility for our own health. We can change our family legacy with our health, okay? If we change our eating habits, and eat a cleaner, more organic food source. We are now teaching our children, we are teaching our grandchildren how to live and how to eat for nourishment, for energy, for health. It's true. Health is a legacy, okay? Legacy is not just the finances that we pass down, okay? So for all those in the past who have refused all the free support groups, or maybe you didn't want to pay that $150 to get on some life-changing vitamins or exercise program, yeah, this is my rant, I guess, okay? So it's not political, and I told you some of you might feel uncomfortable. Maybe you don't agree with it, but that's okay. Nobody should have to take responsibility for your health more than what you should have for yourself. Nobody is responsible for my health other than myself. And that includes my husband. That includes my parents, my children, let alone my government. So now, I know I've been off track with my nutrition the past few months, and that's due to high family stress, and that's a story for another episode. But I own that. I take responsibility for that, and I don't expect anybody to do anything to protect me. So yes, I believe in taking care of the weaker ones in society, so don't get this twisted. However, the discrepancy, the irony comes in when this was never a pandemic before, or heck, never even a concern to us individually or to the government prior. So when the news and the powers that be start to preach on how we need to take better care of ourselves with nutrition, exercise, sleep, sunshine, less stress, and when we begin to take personal responsibility for what we do to our own bodies, only then will we start to make progress in the true pandemic. All right, hope we're still friends after that. But I told you, I'm always going to be authentically myself, and I might ruffle some feathers, but this is the way it is. All right, my friends, I will see you next time. Until then, be blessed. Thanks so much for listening. But before you go, if you found value in today's show, I would love it if you would take a screenshot of this episode and share it with others on social media. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and head on over to iTunes or wherever you listen to rate and leave a review. It is how we can empower, educate, and shift how others visualize their lives. Until next time, my friend, remember to live a life untapped. You are worth it.